Today we have first of many fantasy football videos, and today we are doing our favorite sleepers of the 2021 NFL draft. Dan, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Awesome. So I'll start off today. We each have 5, 10 in total, and I'm going to start with Antonio Brown. This might be a little bit of a we're contrarian. Might be different than what most people believe, but if you watch our video on TikTok and Instagram, Dan's top 10 route runners, Antonio Brown is number 5, and I wholeheartedly agree with him. Based on average draft position, he is the 57th ranked wide receiver. And you don't have to go back more than 2 years to see that he played at a top 5 level. Last year, I gotta get the stats up. Last year, he was ranked 65th out of all eligible receivers. But as an average per game, he had 14.6 points per game, which puts him ahead of people like Marvin Jones Jr., Curtis Samuel, Robbie Anderson, believe it or not. I think he was slept on because he missed 8 games and he was the wide receiver 3 on Tampa Bay. But I truly believe if he's given a starting position, either wide receiver 1 or 2, he could still pop off. And especially if you go to his per game stats, you can even see in the beginning of the year, because he missed pretty much all of 2019 except for 1 game, missed 8 games in 2020. So he had a little bit slow of a start, but at the end, when Tampa Bay really caught up, so did Antonio Brown. And even he ended the year with 10 receptions on 14 targets, 138 yards, and 2 TDs. Now, granted, that was against a bad Falcons team, bad Falcons defense, but even in the past 2 games, he had over, let's say, about 250 yards and 4 TDs. And his targets even increased too, going from 3 to 5 to 7, then ultimately to 14 in the last game. So I do believe Antonio Brown can have a career resurgence. Obviously, it depends on the quarterback where he goes. I personally like it if he went to a team with a good quarterback, like really good quarterback like Green Bay. They seem to need a guy there because outside of Adams, they really don't have anyone that's too reliable, that's too consistent. Maybe if he went back to Tampa Bay, he has a connection with Brady, no doubt. And like we said before, he's still a top route runner. And we find even the route runners in today's game score more TDs than the big threats do. And the stats even prove it with Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, and Adam Thielen as the top scoring TD players of last season. Outside of Hill, who's maybe like top threat is speed, Adams and Thielen are by far the better route runners in the league. And even you don't have to go too far to see that Kelsey's on this list, who is a route running tight end, route running specialist, and more guys like Lockett and Ridley down there. So number 5, Antonio Brown. He's my 5th favorite sleeper for this year.
Yeah, I'd have to agree on that. The only worry, obviously, is if he's going to find a team. I do think if he goes back to the Bucs, that's okay. But I'd actually prefer if he went to a different team. Somewhere in mind, maybe like, I don't know, Philadelphia needs a receiver. Detroit obviously needs everything, but I wouldn't want him to go to Detroit. Some team with like a decently competent quarterback that'll give him the targets that he needs. We talked about it yesterday a little bit. The Super Bowl and those last few games, as Richie was saying, he had some amazing games. He finally had the resurgence that we all thought he would have. The first few games, I watched the Bucs games, every single Bucs game last year. The first few games, him and Tom Brady just were not on the same page. Something was up. Tom was trying to force it to him while the routes weren't on the same page. But things clicked towards the end, and I do still think he's like, I had him top 5 route runners. That's just because he didn't have an insane season. Honestly, I think he still could be number 1. We have no clue, really. If we see him with, another Big Ben type caliber quarterback, he could be the best receiver again. I fully believe that. He's the same age as Julio. Julio's still a great receiver. He's only 32, so I know that's kind of old for receivers, but I didn't see any lack of speed in the last season, so I would agree with it.
And even speed's not even his game.
Right.
Route running, I mean, maybe you lose a step here or there, but like route running, Larry Fitzgerald played till he was 38, something
Right.
around there. And he was a separator. So, I mean, we'll see, but I do like Antonio Brown to be a solid this year, to say the least.
Yeah, I also have this like weird faith with it too, because I know how hard of a worker he is, even though he's like crazy as shit. Like he fucking puts in the work, you know what I mean? Like he's always ripped. He's in way better shape than pretty much any receiver besides like DK. So I don't have a worry that he would, the old age is really hitting him that hard.
can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right.